Once upon a time, deep in the heart of Africa, there was a small but bustling village named Nyamakye. Nestled between rolling green hills and dense mystical forests, Nyamakye was a place where the sun always seemed to shine a little brighter, and the nights were filled with the melodic hum of crickets and frogs. The village was a tapestry of vibrant life, where children's laughter echoed through the air, and the scent of cooking fires and blooming flowers mingled in a delightful blend. The villagers of Nyamakye led simple yet fulfilling lives, bound by tradition and the stories passed down from their ancestors. These tales were more than just entertainment. They were lessons, history, and the very fabric that held the community together. Among these villagers was Ekon, a young man known far and wide for his cleverness and mischievous spirit. Ekon was always up to something, whether it was outsmarting his friends in games or devising clever solutions to everyday problems. His antics were legendary, making him both a source of amusement and exasperation for the villagers. One fateful day, as the villagers gathered for their morning routines, an old storyteller named Kofi arrived in the village square. Kofi was a figure of awe and respect, a wandering sage whose tales were said to be woven from the very threads of history and magic. His presence immediately drew a crowd, everyone eager to hear another of his mesmerizing stories. The children sat at his feet, their eyes wide with anticipation, while the adults formed a circle around them, their chores momentarily forgotten. Kofi began his tale, his voice a rich and captivating melody that drew everyone in. Long ago, he intoned, in a time when magic still walked the earth, there existed a powerful calabash. This was no ordinary calabash. It was said to grant its possessor immense wisdom and untold riches. But the calabash was hidden away in the deepest part of the forbidden forest, guarded by spirits and creatures of legend. As Kofi's words filled the air, the villagers could almost see the mystical forest and feel the presence of the magical calabash. Ekon, who was usually more interested in his own schemes than in listening to stories, found himself completely entranced. The idea of possessing such a calabash, with its promise of wisdom and riches, ignited a fire within him. He could already imagine the respect and admiration he would receive if he succeeded in finding it. The old storyteller continued, painting vivid pictures of the dangers and wonders that awaited anyone brave enough to seek the calabash. Many have tried to find it, Kofi said, his voice dropping to a whisper, but none have returned. The forest is treacherous, and its guardians are relentless. Only the bravest and the wisest can hope to succeed. Ekon's mind raced with possibilities. He knew he was clever, perhaps the cleverest in the village. If anyone could navigate the dangers of the forbidden forest and outwit its guardians, it was him. As the story concluded and the villagers slowly dispersed, Ekon made a silent vow to himself. He would find this magical calabash and prove to everyone that he was more than just a trickster. That night, as the village settled into the peaceful rhythms of sleep, Ekon lay awake, his mind buzzing with excitement and plans. He thought about the forbidden forest, the challenges that lay ahead, and the glorious reward that awaited him. He could almost feel the calabash in his hands, its power flowing into him, making him wise and respected. With the first light of dawn, Ekon quietly gathered his belongings. He packed only the essentials, a small satchel of provisions, a knife for protection, and a rope for climbing. As he slipped out of his hut, he paused for a moment to look back at the sleeping village. He knew his journey would be dangerous, but the promise of the calabash was too alluring to resist. Ekon set off toward the edge of the forbidden forest, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. The villagers watched him go, their whispers filled with both admiration and concern. Some believed in his cleverness and courage, while others feared he would never return. But Ekon was determined. He was ready to face whatever dangers awaited him, driven by the tantalizing promise of the magical calabash. Thus began Ekon's grand adventure, a journey that would test his wits, courage, and the very essence of who he was. The path ahead was shrouded in mystery and danger, but Ekon's spirit was unbreakable. With each step into the unknown, he felt the weight of destiny upon him, pushing him forward into the heart of the forbidden forest and toward the legendary calabash. And so, With the village of Nyamekhi fading into the distance behind him, Ekon plunged into the dense, shadowy depths of the forest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in his quest for wisdom and riches. The adventure of a lifetime had begun. Ekon set off early the next morning, before the first light of dawn touched the village. Armed with nothing but his wits and a small satchel of provisions, he made his way toward the edge of the forbidden forest. The villagers watched him go with a mix of admiration and concern, whispering among themselves about the dangers that lay ahead. Some doubted his return, but those who knew Ekon's cunning believed he had a fighting chance. The Forbidden Forest was a place of deep shadows and ancient mysteries. As Ekon stepped beneath its dense canopy, the sunlight was immediately swallowed by the thick foliage, casting the forest floor into an eerie twilight. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the sounds of unseen creatures rustling in the underbrush. Each step Ekon took was careful and deliberate, his senses heightened and alert for any sign of danger. His first challenge came sooner than expected. After a few hours of trekking through the dense undergrowth, Ekon encountered a wide, treacherous river cutting through the heart of the forest. The river's waters churned violently, making it impossible to swim across. The sound of the rushing water was deafening, and the riverbank was steep and slippery. Ekon paused, pondering how to overcome this obstacle. Just then, he noticed a family of otters playing on the riverbank, their sleek bodies effortlessly gliding through the water. Ekon approached them cautiously, hoping to enlist their help. "Hello, friends," Ekon called out to the otters. "I need to cross this river, but it seems too dangerous. Can you help me?" The otters, curious about the stranger, approached cautiously. The eldest otter, a wise and experienced creature, nodded. "We can help you, but in return, you must promise to respect the forest and all its inhabitants," he said. Ekon agreed without hesitation, understanding the importance of harmony with the forest. The otters formed a makeshift raft using fallen branches and vines, their nimble paws working with practiced ease. With their help, Ekon safely crossed the river. He thanked the otters sincerely and promised to keep his word, feeling a newfound respect for the forest and its creatures. As he ventured deeper into the forest, Ekon encountered his second challenge. A dense thicket of thorny bushes barred his way, the sharp thorns glistening menacingly in the dim light. Frustrated but undeterred, he searched for a way through. Suddenly, a graceful gazelle appeared, her movements elegant and swift. "Why do you seek to enter the heart of the forbidden forest?" the gazelle asked, her eyes filled with curiosity and wisdom. "I seek the magical Calabash, said to be hidden within," Ekon replied. "I need its wisdom and riches to prove my worth." The gazelle considered his words carefully before nodding. "I will show you a hidden path that bypasses these thorns. But remember, true worth is found not in riches, but in the journey and the lessons learned along the way." With the gazelle's guidance, Ekon found a narrow, winding path that led him safely through the thicket. The path was overgrown but passable, and Ekon moved forward with a newfound sense of purpose. He thanked the gazelle for her help, her words echoing in his mind as he pressed on. As night fell, the forest seemed to come alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures. Ekon reached a clearing where a massive baobab tree stood, its ancient branches stretching toward the sky like the fingers of a giant. He decided to rest for the night, knowing that his greatest challenges likely awaited him at the heart of the forest. Ekon's sleep was restless, filled with dreams of spirits and creatures whispering secrets to him. In his dreams, he saw visions of the magical Calabash and the guardians who protected it. He awoke with the first light of dawn, feeling both excitement and trepidation. Determined, he set off once more, feeling the weight of his journey pressing down on him, but also the thrill of the adventure that lay ahead. As he traveled further into the depths of the forbidden forest, Ekon encountered a mighty lion lounging in a sun-dappled clearing. The lion's golden mane glowed in the sunlight, and his eyes were sharp and wary. Ekon approached cautiously, aware that the lion could easily overpower him if threatened. "Who dares to disturb my rest?" the lion growled, his voice a low rumble that sent shivers down Ekon's spine. "Mighty lion," Ekon replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "I seek the magical Calabash hidden in this forest. I need its wisdom and riches to prove my worth." The lion regarded him for a moment, his eyes piercing and thoughtful. Many have sought the calabash, but few have succeeded. Why should I let you pass? Ekon, quick thinking as always, responded. If you let me live and help me, I can share with you the secrets of better hunting, ensuring you'll never go hungry again. Intrigued, the lion agreed to spare Ekon. The spider shared his clever hunting techniques, teaching the lion new strategies to catch prey. Impressed by Ekon's knowledge, the lion promised to aid him if ever needed. With the lion's powerful presence as an ally, Ekon felt more confident than ever as he approached his final challenge. At last, Ekon arrived at the base of the tallest tree, its trunk soaring high into the sky. Its branches spread wide like a guardian of the forest. The tree was ancient, with a thick, gnarled trunk covered in moss and vines. Ekon took a deep breath, clutching the pot of wisdom tightly. He began his climb, carefully navigating the rough bark and twisting branches. Despite his determination, the task proved more difficult than he had anticipated. Each time he attempted to climb with the pot on his back, it slipped and fell, crashing to the ground below. Exhausted and frustrated, Ekon sat at the base of the tree, his spirits dampened. Just then, his young son, who had been quietly following him, emerged from the shadows. The boy had watched his father's struggles with concern. "Dad," he said softly, "maybe you should try carrying the pot on your head instead of your back. That way, you might have better balance." Initially, Ekon's pride was wounded by the suggestion, but he soon realized the wisdom in his son's words. He placed the pot of wisdom carefully on his head, feeling the weight and balance shift. With renewed determination, Ekon began his ascent once more. This time, his movements were steadier, and his balance improved. Climbing higher and higher, Ekon finally reached the top of the tallest tree. He carefully placed the pot of wisdom in the designated spot, securing it firmly. A sense of triumph and relief washed over him as he gazed out over the vast forest below. Ekon's success was not just a testament to his own cleverness, but also to the invaluable help of his son and the friends he made along the way. The journey had taught him that true wisdom often comes from collaboration and listening to others. As he descended the tree, the creatures of the forest gathered to celebrate Ekon's achievement. The lion roared in approval, the gazelles danced gracefully, and the otters nodded sagely. Ekon's young son beamed with pride, knowing he had played a crucial role in his father's success. Ekon had proven himself worthy of Niam's challenge, and his journey had solidified the bond between him and his fellow forest dwellers. The path to wisdom had been long and arduous, but Ekon had emerged victorious, carrying with him the lessons of bravery, intelligence, and the importance of working together. Thus, Ekon's adventure continued, with new challenges and stories to unfold, but always with the knowledge that he was never truly alone on his journey. Ekon's journey led him to a hidden glade, where a small, unassuming hut stood. It was here, he knew, that the magical calabash was kept. As he approached, he felt a chill in the air and saw the shadows lengthen around him. The guardian spirits of the forest began to materialize, their forms ethereal and imposing. "Why do you seek the calabash?" one of the spirits asked, its voice like the rustling of leaves. "I seek its wisdom and riches to prove my worth," Ekon replied, trying to keep his voice steady. The spirits regarded him for a moment before the eldest among them spoke. "The calabash holds great power, but it also holds great responsibility. To claim it, you must answer this riddle. What is the greatest treasure one can possess?" Ekon thought long and hard, recalling his journey and the lessons he had learned from the otters and the gazelle. Finally, he spoke. "The greatest treasure is wisdom, gained through experience and the respect and understanding of others." The spirits nodded, and the eldest spirit gestured toward the hut. "You have answered wisely. Enter and claim the calabash." Ekon stepped into the hut and found the magical calabash resting on a simple wooden pedestal. It glowed with a soft golden light, and as he touched it, he felt a surge of energy and understanding flow through him. He realized that the true power of the calabash was not in the riches it promised, but in the wisdom it imparted. Returning to the village of Niamekye, Ekon was greeted as a hero. He shared the wisdom he had gained, teaching the villagers about respect, understanding, and the value of experiences over material wealth. The village prospered, not because of newfound riches, but because of the unity and wisdom that now guided them. Ekon's tale became a new legend, told and retold around the village fires. It was a story of adventure, courage, and the true meaning of worth. Ekon, once known for his tricks, was now celebrated as a wise and respected leader, his journey serving as a timeless reminder that the greatest treasures are found within. And so, the story of Ekon and the magic calabash became a cherished part of Nyameki's lore, inspiring generations to seek wisdom, respect one another, and value the journey as much as the destination.